Hey, what's up, killers? It is your final girl Mel coming at you from my killer podcast. And do we got an exciting movie review for you. So stay tuned. Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you so much for joining me today. If you are new here, I am not only on YouTube, I'm also on a bunch of other social media platforms. Kill the description box below. Follow me everywhere. I'm also 1/3 part of the Rad Pack, and my channel memberships are on, and I have a Patreon. All those links will be below, so check them out. As I alluded, we are going to be doing a very interesting movie review today of the 2024 horror comedy Lisa Frankenstein, directed by our very own Zelda Williams, who happens to be Robin Williams' daughter. That's very exciting because I don't know about you, but I absolutely loved Robin Williams. I'm sad that he is no longer with us, and I kind of want to cry every time I think about him. I don't know why. He was just one of those people, you know? He was one of those actors that we needed. We needed him. We needed his humor. We needed his characters. We needed his face. We needed him to bring joy into our lives so we can forget what we actually have going on. The only other person that I can really compare to him would be maybe Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey is another one of those people who you love him. You love his humor. You love his face. He makes you happy just saying his name. But we're not doing a review on Robin Williams, are we? No, we're doing a review on Lisa Frankenstein, which I just saw this past weekend. And I'm going to try and keep this as spoiler-free as I can. It kind of sucks when you have to do a spoiler-free review because I want to talk about all the things. And the more vague I have to be, I feel like the less sense my reviews end up making. So let's get into it. Starring in this movie, we have Catherine Newton, Liza Sobrano, I think I said that right, and Cole Sprouse. I think you'll recognize Cole Sprouse from this movie, Big Daddy. I was actually really surprised to find out that he was in this one, and it also aged me. It aged me quite a bit. I remember when Big Daddy came out, I remember watching it, so now to see that little boy become a man, and I'm still enjoying his movies, is just, it's wild to me. It's just absolutely wild. I'm not going to go into too much of the background of this movie just because as of recently, I've really been doing some soul searching into what I want my channel to be about, and I've been really debating on bringing the podcast back because I kind of miss that format, and I feel like I just get so caught up in the technicalities of movies, the behind the scenes, the extras, the special features, which are all great, but I'm not a movie maker. So I feel weird sitting here and talking about the cinematography and talking about the script and talking about the special effects and talking about the direction. I'm not a director. How am I supposed to fucking know if this movie was directed good or bad or whatever? But what I can speak to is the story. I feel like a lot of us physical media YouTubers get so caught up in making sure we have every little nuanced detail about what the movies were shot on and what the aspect ratios are that we forget to even talk about the story. So that's what I want to really focus this review on, is very vaguely the story, I guess. So I don't want to lead you on too much more. I absolutely loved this movie, of course. It is a horror comedy / I want to say romance, and it definitely has those My Boyfriend's Back vibes so hardcore. I am going to dip into the cinematography a little bit about this movie because it was very colorful. It was very beautiful. There was a lot of neons. There's a lot of pink and teal neons, which is like my favorite color combination. So there was a lot of that going on in this movie, and it was just very visually appealing to me because obviously I dig those kinds of things. All right, and one of the second things that I really want to gush over about this movie, other than the beautiful color palette, is the costuming. The outfits, the fashion is phenomenal. phenomenal. Our lead character, Lisa, has some of the greatest outfits of all time in this movie, and I absolutely love them. Her counterpart, we'll call him the corpse, has a more vintage style costuming, a more Victorian era costuming. There's one part in the movie where they do kind of a fun fashion scene where Lisa is trying to dress the corpse up in more modern day clothing, and he looks very fresh, but then like at one point later on he has his preferred dress wear, so he changes it back to kind of a more Victorian garb, which I just absolutely love it. The makeup in this movie is really great too. I think maybe that's why it clicked a lot for me is I do these things for a living, so the super bright and colorful color palette and the fashion and the extravagance of it all really related to me in that way. And it also feels kind of 80s, 70s-ish. And I really relate to that as well. So those are a couple of the things that I absolutely love. This movie is a comedy. One of the things that maybe I didn't, not that I didn't like it, but not all of the jokes hit for me. I didn't find it to be like overly hilarious, but there were some comedic moments that I appreciated. Another thing that I kind of wanted to just make note is the story. I felt like the story just needed a little more. I felt like we needed to flesh out the story just a little bit better. There's this long buildup in the beginning, and then you get this fantastic middle. And then in our third act, where we get the climax and then the conclusion, I felt was just a little sped up. I felt like they wrapped up this movie real fast. I really wanted to see more of that. I wanted to see more of the aftermath in the end, and we didn't get that. So I just feel like I wanted more from the story. And dare I say, I wanted our leading lady to be just a little more likable, I guess. She starts off in the beginning super likable. You love her, you're rooting for her, but then somewhere along the line in the story, she kind of turns. Her character starts to do this 180, and then you find yourself like not really rooting for her that much anymore. I wanted to like her all the way to the end. So if they could have maintained what was happening with her, I know this is super vague because I'm trying not to give away any spoilers, but if they could have maintained her storyline and where she starts and where she ends, but still kept her that super likable character, I would have preferred that. Maybe it was written that way on purpose. Maybe they wanted you to not really root for her towards the end of the movie. I don't know why they would do that, but a couple of other characters that were fantastic is Carla Gugino. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I apologize. Kill me in the comments below if I totally slaughtered her name. But she plays this super unlikable character. Like, you dislike this woman from the moment you meet her all the way through the movie. But she does such an excellent job in her performance that I loved her. I loved her in this movie. Her character was just, it was so terrible and it was great. And I loved every single minute of it. So she really stood out to me in this movie as well. Other than that, those were kind of my messy thoughts about Lisa Frankenstein. In the end, I absolutely loved it. I wanted to watch this movie immediately after I left the theater. One thing that I can really tell about myself and when I truly love a movie is right after I watch it, I just want to watch it again. I want to start it all over and watch it again. This is where watching movies on physical media first is good, because if I waited until it got released, I could have just watched it again. But leaving the movie theater, I can't watch it again. I can't watch it again until it comes out, and that's unfortunate because I really want to see it again. I absolutely loved the love story. There are some There are some story issues I have with the romance in the movie, just because they kind of don't really explain certain things, and it was driving me nuts. That ties into the story needing to be fleshed out just a little bit more. We needed a little more character building on the corpse's side. I wanted more character building of his. We didn't get a whole lot of backstory on him. We didn't get a whole lot of his mindset in the present. So I needed a little more of that too. But anyway, that's it. That's all I'm going to say for now. Maybe later I'll do a full review of this movie after it comes out on physical media. Hopefully we get a bomb-ass steelbook or something like that for it. I would love that. Just even the poster art on a steelbook with those colors and that black background. Oh, it'd be fantastic. Maybe then I will do a full spoiler review of it, because I do really want to talk about this story. I think it's fantastic, and I want to dive into it deeper, because like I said in the beginning of the video, a lot of the actual written word of these movies gets lost when people are sitting there trying to read off all the special features and the HDs and 1080p's of things. They don't talk about the story a lot. And you guys know me, I love books. I love to read. So stories matter. Anyway, that's it. That's all I have for you. Thank you for hanging out with me today. If you'd like to help support me and my channel, become a member, or y'all on over to my Patreon and become a member over there. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and kill that bell for your girl. Share this review with your friends if they're on the fence about seeing this movie, because maybe this will sway them to watch it. But until the next time we gather, you know what to do. Have a killer day. Peace.